Hey guys, welcome to Passion for Purpose here at the Tribe Unity headquarters. My name is V Fournier. I have my co-host here today, Ronnie Davis, and we are here to welcome an awesome guest named 60 East.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yo, we did a panel together recently, so when he was dropping his knowledge, I was like, man, I gotta have him on the show, obviously, and I was able to check out a lot of his stuff, which he'll do a performance later. Actually, we said that we were gonna do that first, but I guess
All good. It's all good.
it happens. This is what happens when you are live. Shit changes. But definitely, we'll get a performance from you later because I definitely want them to check it out. But for now, we're going to go ahead and drop some knowledge. So,
All right. So
Yeah.
60 East, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell the world who you are and how would you, tell them how to know how to feel you.
60 East, songwriter, hip hop artist, poet. I got into the music business out of necessity, not something I always wanted to do, but
Right.
just not being able to have a manager or booking agent. I had to learn to do it by myself. So started dabbling in PR work, booking, started booking my own shows. That eventually led to throwing my own festival. Now I'm a concert promoter slash touring artist, so just trying to balance all that.
Cool. And what kind of artist would you say you are, genre-wise?
Definitely hip hop, alternative. I like to dabble in between. I like rock. I like
Versatile.
hip hop. Yeah, I like it all.
Got a little bit of everything. Awesome. All right. So tell us a little bit about what you got going on right now as far as your music career. What can we look forward to as far as your music? Any videos? Any kind of events that you're doing?
Yeah, I just released a project with a producer by the name of Ariano. He's worked with everybody from Snoop Dogg to all the underground dudes. Just he's real known in the LA circuit and real well-known songwriter. Crazy accolades. That project is doing great. I really stepped out of my comfort zone for this project. It's not so much hip hop. It's a little more on the alternatives realm. So it's been fun to see the reaction and just the press that we've been getting from that. I'm gonna be going on tour this summer, half Europe, half the United States.
Wow.
Gonna be touring with some of my favorite artists. The first half is gonna be with Elzai and Crisis, who just formed a group called Jericho Jackson, signed to Ninth Wonders label. So I'm gonna be doing the West Coast tour with that, coming home for like a week and then flying out to Europe. I'll be there for 3 weeks, doing the first week with Devin the Dude, and the second 2 weeks solo.
Devin the Dude, what's he
Yeah.
up to these days? He's a
He
very
grinds, yeah. I actually met Devin a year or two ago in Denmark. I got to open for him there. We built a relationship, and now we have the same booking agent. So when he does stuff in Europe, he likes to take me with him. So
That's a nice plug. Good for
Yeah.
you.
yeah.
Well, who are some of the artists you want to work with right now? Like, shout out to
Damn.
some of the people you want to work with in the future here.
A lot of producers. I like
Producer.
artists, but all of the legendary dudes from DJ Premier, Large Professor,
Premier, okay.
Knots, Alchemist, people like that. I'm old school, but a lot of the new dudes, artist-wise, like a lot of them, Kendrick, Cole, like Logic, Chance.
Chance the Rapper.
Yeah, all these dudes,
Some
man.
good artists, good choices. Good. Well, tell them how they can contact you. We're going to be able to give you contact information at the end, but tell them now how to contact you so they can chime in to you right now.
60east.net, SIXTYEast.net, videos, free music, tour dates, all that.
All right, your IG.
At 60 East,
At
60
60
East, yeah.
Well, you got it. There it goes. 60 East, the one and only.
so and like you mentioned, you are definitely an entrepreneur. So I definitely want to dive into the importance of taking that business mindset, behind the branding of you as 60 East, the artist.
Yeah.
So how did that kind of start, and why did you feel like it was important to actually take on the entrepreneur side?
Well, I know 1,000 rappers. I grew up, I was kind of like the youngest one, and I seen a lot of my friends not be successful, and I seen people that I thought were successful down the line that weren't successful. So I learned real early to get my business right. Like we were speaking on the panel,
Yeah.
right out of high school, like I landed an internship with a record label, started learning the back end, the backside, and that nowadays we didn't need labels. We could do this independent as long as you had that entrepreneurial, independent DIY mind state. So I went full force. Like I said, I couldn't hire a publicist, so I started Googling what a publicist does and just started doing it. And now, like, I started getting myself pressed And it's well, like, now I don't need a publicist. I could do that. Started figuring out the booking stuff. And, yeah, that just kept, cycling.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, hey, guys, I don't know, make sure you guys really realize this because, I personally get meetings, and I'm sure you do too, of people that want to become artists or, the next hottest rapper, but, they're not really willing to do the work behind the scenes. And don't get me wrong, there's a whole bunch of people around you, right, that are good at specific things that you need, and it is really about uniting and kind of creating your tribe. Right. So, like, for instance, I wouldn't have met you if I didn't meet you at Open Canvas, which was the panel. And they're an awesome tribe. And you definitely can find other people to kind of join your tribe there. So this show is called Passion for Purpose. And obviously, just being on a panel, you're able to kind of, drop some knowledge. So to me, that's purposeful because there's a lot of people out there trying to, live their dreams or their goals. So it is important for us to give time to those people and kind of share knowledge.
Definitely.
Do you do anything else? Like, does your festival, actually, let's talk about your festival really quick because the name alone, I feel like is so purposeful. So let's talk about that. What's the name?
The Happiness of Pursuit Festival was founded on, I just love, I'm a concert goer. I'm a concert junkie. If I'm not performing or I don't got family stuff going on, catch me at a concert any day of the week. That I've always wanted to do that, and I've always wanted to bring it back to my community. And being on tour, I discovered so many artists around the country that I like and that I would like to expose to other people. And people on similar journeys like mine and with similar passion and similar results that we expect to get. So I'll go around the country and I'll basically scout talent and people that I see are on a similar path, and I'll give them the opportunity. If a lot of these people have never been to LA, never been to California, so I'm like, hey, I got a couch for you to crash on, I got a stage for you to rock, we'll promote you, we'll do all this stuff, and at the same time, bringing in locals that are trying to do the same thing and getting to see these national artists and people like myself and other people from the community that have been able to do it, and bring them all together in one spot. We invite local businesses, local brands, local artists, bring everybody together, and just it's all about the unity.
Hell yeah, that's so awesome.
That is awesome.
So let's get into touring because a lot of our market, actually, they're up and coming artists as well, or influencers. So how did you get into the touring life? How did you started being able to be on tour?
I think you got to be made for tour. Like, I grew up, I actually had like an aunt that would take, like, I have a big family. Mexicans have huge families. I had this aunt that would take like a couple of nephews on like a summer vacation every year. She had, money or whatever. So every year she would pick like a couple of the nephews and be like, all right, we're going to this place. So I got to travel here and there when I was little because of her and stuff. And I remember going on like a 2-week bus tour from like the bottom of Italy to like Paris or like London or something like that. And just in and out of a bus, literally 2 days in one city. Hotels every other night, going. So I feel like I was kind of bred for this stuff. And this is like 10, 11 years old. So it's kind of like in my genes. My mom loves to travel. So I feel like I've always had the traveling sense. But getting into music, I first got the opportunity. I had signed to a label from Sacramento. So initially I just started driving back and forth between LA and Northern California. I built my first initial fan base in Northern California. Doing shows. That led to just doing West Coast shows up and down the coast from San Diego to Seattle. That ended up leading to our first national tour. We booked all completely ourselves, completely DIY, just calling promoters, cold calling, knocking on as many doors. Facebook, I booked whole tours off of Facebook. So as soon as we did a whole national tour around the US, the fan base grew enough, demand started growing, so we started doing that. That led to our first going to Europe for the first time, which again, tapping into the handful of fans that we already had, tapping into a handful of DJs and artists that we knew out there, and just, setting up 5 shows over the span of 2 weeks, building on that. The next tour I did, I got booked for a big festival, did 2 weeks, built off that. The next time I'm like out there for a month and just constantly building off of each tour. Every tour you meet someone new, that person introduces you to like 5 more people, and just building every time, just building. And now it's, now we got a solid foundation, solid fan base, and I'm able to tour year round.
The grind
Awesome.
is real. The grind is real
Yeah.
for sure.
So what are the like top 3 things that you have to do when you are on tour in order to succeed?
Count your money. Be
Okay.
about the paper. Merchandising. That, I mean, I feel like that goes together. But having different ways for people to, you know, donate to you, whether it's setting up a GoFundMe, having T-shirts, CDs, records, hats, pins, anything you can imagine that can be an extra source of income. You know, having that. Working out door deals, trying to get what you can. A lot of these people that, if you're going on your first tour, you're not going to get a lot of money. So you got to be willing to, you know, if you can take food and a hotel and, you know, figure out how you can get the travel covered, you know, meeting those fans and building those relationships are super important. Another thing I would say is getting just the sightsee. Wherever we're at, I try to see at least 1 or 2 things that I'll never, ever get to see.
Yeah.
Because I'm in and out of a lot of cities. It's like you get there, hotel, check-in, sound check, hotel, get back to the show, perform, out to the airport.
Right.
So you don't get to see a lot of stuff. So I try to like just take a breather, go see the Eiffel Tower, whatever it may be, and let's keep it rocking.
That's awesome. So let's kind of touch upon the fact that you said that you really connect with your fans or these people that come to your shows, so that way you can, you know, hit them up again
Yeah.
when you are there. But kind of like the importance of connection. So how do you go about that? Because obviously you meet so many people in each city. How do you stay connected, or how do you connect in general?
Social media.
Okay.
Being social, email lists. Personally, like the average person isn't in their email constantly. Business people tend to be different, but I mean the average person is on Facebook or
Right.
Instagram. So every time I'm at a show, somebody engages in my music. Like I'll follow them, we'll follow each other. I'll follow up with them either when I get home, just like, hey, cool meeting you. Let's stay in contact, and then from there, you know, I'll like their stuff, they'll like mine, and just getting to build that personal, you know, relationship. And I do that after every show. And I mean, I heard Logic say one time that he responds to every fan. He makes sure to shake every fan's hand early on, because this is like before he got signed and all that. And then he had said, because one day I'm gonna have so many fans, I'm not gonna be able to do that.
Right.
So I mean, I kind of use the same ideology.
Yeah.
To just like, you know, as long as I can do this, I'm gonna do it. After every show, I'm gonna shake every hand, have a drink with you, whatever it may be, until it's to the point where that's not possible
Make that
anymore.
connection.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure. Okay, so before we get into the second half of the show, I really want them to get a taste of who you are as an
Cool.
artist. So if you can just bless us with something real quick. Ronnie and I will get off stage really quick, and then we'll get back into asking more questions.
So I'm gonna rock this song called Grateful. We're right here. It's called Grateful. I'm gonna do it a cappella. This song is off a project called the Freeway Series, an EP series that I've been working on volume 3 now. Every other series is produced by another producer. And yeah, it's called Grateful. So I thank God every morning. I open my eyes, happy to be here. Yeah, I'm glad to be alive. Realized everything is a blessing in disguise. Puffing on line, no stress as I stare at the sky. I thank God for mom. She used to hold me in her arms and believed in my dream when I wasn't even on. Grateful for the nights on the block with the squad on the freeway with a can dropping bombs on the wall. I gotta thank God for my beautiful baby and BM2 when she not driving me crazy. Glad with what I got. I don't need a new Mercedes or a crib with 20 rooms, dog. That shit don't faze me. Thankful for my fans. Fam of my mans, quick to lend me a hand and get me out of a jam. Thanking God for this gift, for the stage and the stands as I'm sitting on this plane, waiting to land. I'm grateful to be grateful. Grateful for the hateful. Grateful for my label in the first day of April. Grateful for the cables that turn on these tables. And I'm grateful for these girls that are actually faithful. I'm grateful to be grateful. Grateful for the hateful. Grateful for my label in the first day of April. Grateful for the cables that turn on these tables. And I'm grateful for these girls that are actually faithful. On some real stuff, I don't need $1 million. I never gave a damn about being a baller. Just trying to be a father and feed my daughter, kill tracks and stay lacing beats with water. I'm grateful for the opportunities God given me. Chances are endless, and so the possibilities comes to the artistry. Know I'm the epitome. Leave a dude dissing me with a disability. Grateful to be in the position I'm in. Could have been serving 10 with my mans in the pen, but instead I'm beating ends off what I write with a pen. Getting checks for my sets and what I say off the head. I thank God for my life and the fact he didn't take it, cause I got a lot of people that didn't make it. Thankful for my breath that ain't about the bread, cause in the end, that stuff don't matter when you're dead. I'm grateful to be grateful. Grateful for the hateful, grateful for my label in the first day of April. Grateful for the cables that turn on these tables, and I'm grateful for these girls that are actually faithful. Grateful to be grateful. Grateful for the hateful, grateful for my label in the first day of April. Grateful for the cables that turn on these tables, and I'm grateful for these girls that are actually faithful. 60 East.
So
Yes.
let's get into those lyrics, because I definitely felt that. In order to manifest things, you get to align yourself with what you're trying to manifest, so your goals. And a huge part of that is being grateful. So let's dive into your lyrics and why you decided to write the song. What was going on in your mind when you were writing this?
It was actually a shoe drop. And I love big shoe head, love Jordans, love exclusives,
Me
and there
too.
was this day I forgot what drop it was. There was this day, but I wanted it. I wanted these shoes so bad, and I was like mad. I was mad at myself. I was driving, and I was like, man, I can't get these shoes. I'm super broke. Like, why am I broke? Because made bad investments, whatever it may be. But as I'm driving, I get to the light. I get to a red light, and I look in the corner. And I see a dude with like no legs, like he was in a wheelchair riding, and he had like his bottom of his, knees were gone. And that to me was kind of like the universe's way of telling me that like, yo, really you're mad about not having these shoes? You
Right.
see this dude over here don't even have feet? Like, you need to be grateful for what you do have. So like I got home and I started writing just about all the things that I'm grateful for that I tend to overlook and that people tend to overlook in general. So that's where the song came from.
That's so dope. So when fans talk to you about this, I mean, what's the best thing a fan has ever said to you after a show? Because, I mean, you got some lyrics that really touch the heart. So I'm positive people come up to you.
Yeah, I've had people come up to me in tears. Not necessarily with this song, but I have a song about my father that passed away from cancer. And like that song, it was so uncomfortable performing it, first of all. Like I hate performing it because super sad song kind of kills the vibe of the show, but the connection after the show with the people that engage with that song and relate to that song is always super overwhelming. So like I said, like this woman came up to me in tears. She's like, dude, like, where can I listen to this song? Like I had a similar experience. My father passed away in that song from cancer, and that song just touched me on a whole nother level. So that's kind of when I realized that I could touch people and change people's lives and perspectives through the music.
That's so awesome. So, speaking of which, I mean, I feel like the best artists out there, you're right, does get uncomfortable. I mean, there really is like this requirement of being completely vulnerable and raw in front of a whole bunch of people. And that essentially to me is, what real artist is. So how do you get over, I guess, your ego? Or like, how do you get over the fact that, you're having to put out some pretty vulnerable situations in your life?
It's hard. Like it's easy to get on stage and talk about how fly you are and how many girls you got and how much money you got. It's hard to get on stage and tell the people about how broke you are, how many girls you don't got, and all
pain.
that. Yeah, telling people about your insecurities and being insecure and vulnerable in front of a room full of people leaves you open for either A, people embracing it, or B, people are going to criticize you for it. And I guess I'm never really comfortable. I've tried to, I'd say, lighten up my sets by performing more songs that are upbeat and stuff like that, depending on whether I'm headlining the show or if I'm opening up for a certain artist who I know fans won't want to get a little deeper. They rather turn up or whatever it may be. But just being comfortable in my skin,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that, because I know you go on tour, so that means you're in front of different markets, different cities all the time. So how are you able to figure out, okay, this is my set list, because now I kind of mess with people. Like, How do you feel that out?
I kind of I got in the habit of making my sets before I tour now. I used to
Okay.
try to cater to the crowd,
Okay.
but sometimes you never know whether, however they look, whether they're gonna like a certain sound. You could try to judge people, and
Yeah.
like I've gone to shows, looked in the crowd, I'm like, I might do more these songs. I might do
Right.
more of these songs. If there's more ladies in the crowd, I might do more female songs, whatever it may be. But now it's just kind of like, all right, this is the set list, and this is what we're rocking with.
Okay, cool. So usually on this show, I always ask a specific breakthrough. So our definition on Passion for Purpose for breakthroughs is, us as influencers, we like to share experiences in order to relate to people out there, because we're all just humans, right? So we love to talk about kind of like the recent breakthrough, because we realize if we talk about it out loud, that people can relate to it and kind of learn from it as well. So what is kind of like your latest breakthrough recently?
As far as like getting to like
Just in life, like what has given you like an aha moment, I guess. Like for instance, I can give you my breakthrough for this recently is actually the show, this show right here. We just started the live Tribunity show, and we have tons of podcasters now. And for the longest time, I've been thinking about doing this. And so my breakthrough was, stop getting in my own way, and then just allowing essentially what these projects that we download, the reason why we get these ideas is because it's universe given, and to just do it. So I got them out of my own way, and now we are just doing it, and now collectively we're just doing it. So that was my breakthrough, was get the fuck out of my way.
Got you. Cool. So it's kind of long answer. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so the person that taught me how to do music and my biggest influence early on, my brother had started a record label in high school. We had an artist by the name of Space Ghost, why I have the Space Ghost tattoo to this day. Anyway, our main artist, he had a record deal on the table. This is back in 2006-07. He was about to blow up. Unfortunately, he ended up getting killed in front of my aunt's house. July 28th, 2006. Once I started doing music, 2009, 2010, every year on July 28th, something would happen to let me know that that my music is kind of just like working. And it was kind of like, oh, okay, someone's pulling strings. And it's funny because on our label, there was a handful of artists, and I'm still friends with some of those other artists. And same thing, my friend Rocky always tells me, he's like, bro, on July 28th, something always happens. And like he's had his own successes and certain phone calls that have come in on that day. So we always relate to that. So every year, July 28th, there's something I kind of look forward to. This year, I actually just got an email about getting booked for a big festival out of state. And they're going to fly me out, do all that stuff. But the people on the festival, one person, I can't announce the festival, but one person on the lineup is Sky Zoo from Brooklyn. He's somebody who I've worked with in the past. I have a music video, a song with them, and that. Elzai, another person on the festival, I'm going to be touring with them in about 2 weeks, and I booked him on my festival last year. So that's another relationship. Prof, somebody who I just interviewed and have been building a relationship with this year. A couple other artists that I'm directly connected to that are in my phone book, not just artists that I know or have worked with, but people I'm connected to are all on the same bill.
Wow.
So when I got the call, it's July 28th, these artists are on the bill, and it's like these are the handful of artists that I'm constantly building with, consistently building with, and to be on the same bill with them is kind of like, wow, like doing this for 10 years is kind of showing me that it took all that time to lead up to this moment. And it's kind of like, oh, it all makes sense. It's all starting to pay off. All these relationships and seeds that I've built over these past couple of years are all coming to life in this one day.
Right.
So it's kind of like, whoa, like get ready because this is
the payoff.
Yeah, like get ready because it's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I took that email as. So I'm sorry, that's just what came to my head when you say it. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. Which, I mean, for me, what I learned from what you just said is you never know who's going to happen to the person next to you, or, what type of success they're going to bring in their career. So relationships is very important, no matter
huge.
how long you've been
Extremely
in this
important.
industry. you do not know what will happen to that next person.
Then when you have to link back up with them in full circle, just like his,
Yeah,
event,
exactly.
the roster, he already knew the roster before, and then just coincidentally, synchronicity came into place, and he's working with the same people he already built a personal connection with. That's definitely an amazing story. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So before we end the show, I want you to kind of just take us out on like one of your poems.
Oh,
If that's
man.
cool, or
Okay.
whatever you want to bless us with. Just another, more words from you, just your heart.
All right.
We definitely love your passion here. But before we do that, I do want to one more time, if you could just let them know where they can find you, because like you said, he has festivals, shows, he does interviews as well. So make sure you hit him up.
60east.net, SIXTYEAST.net. Music, videos, podcasts, all that stuff. Hit me up.
Awesome. So my name is V. Fournier. Once again, you are tuned in to Passion for Purpose at the Tribunity headquarters. Make sure you guys stay tuned for other podcasts that we have going on, where Ronnie Davis will actually have her own show as well. Ronnie, you want to go ahead and share how they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me. You can email me at ronnie.davis@gmail.com. My IG is Robin Blue Blood, so ROBINBLUBLOOD. Kind of one of my aliases. Got many faces. So yeah, contact me there. But I'm definitely a phone call girl. 310-696-1782. You're gonna be better off calling me. We can have this conversation. So yeah, thanks for checking out today, guys. Definitely tune in every week. We got you.
Awesome. Thank you guys one
Thank
more
you.
time. Passion for Purpose. So I'm going to let you go ahead and bring us out. Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye.
To you know who, Ma, I never saw myself being with you, but sometimes y'all dreams come true. I'm like your #1 fan. Damn, I ain't think Joey would meet you. You a fantasy. I wasn't supposed to meet you. Chances of that were so unlikely, but if we did meet, you weren't supposed to like me. But it just so happens God put me in a spot where that would just so happen. See, she had a man, I had a girl, and around the same time, I broke up with mine, and around the same time, we was shaking hands. She never laid a hand on me, but I can tell by the way she glanced at me. Her look said, baby boy, something hampers me, and it would go down, but I got my man with me. Lord, how can it be? You know, I never been the type of dude to come and break up a happy family, but these two look so happy on the outside. They could have only been happy on the outside. We eventually started creeping, but for me it's just sex. For her it's cheating. It went down 1 time, 2 times, once more. Talking real passionate every time it jumped off. I'm in deep, y'all. She's more than a jump off. Both catching feelings, both starting to want more. But guess what? She can't leave him. Must be something I don't know about. Maybe she needs him, so I still gotta front like we ain't creeping. Still gotta shake his hand. I still gotta see him. How am I supposed to look at this dude with respect? With Bleak singing, is that your chick in my head? Drew Hill is somebody sleeping in my bed. Aaliyah, if your girl only knew. Reverse look. This why I'm down and out. Kinda worried, y'all. I ain't heard from her a month since he found out. Even if she wasn't mine, y'all, she's still in my brain. And every time, wherever she at, I know she feeling the same. So every time the phone rings, I'll be praying that her name pop up. And I still be praying that every time the phone rings, that her name pop up. But I know, y'all, I ain't supposed to wife her, but it's God's fault. I wasn't supposed to like her. Sometimes I wonder why I had to beat that chick for. Sometimes y'all be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it and it might not be everything you expected. 60 East. Peace.